because I'm going to talk about controlling anxiety and attacking all those things. That way you can trade without stress. But I'm also going to talk about, in the beginning, uh, all the anxiety and the stress and trading without stress, all those techniques and stuff. That's going to be towards the end of this Twitter space. So at the minimum, you should at least divide it that way. So that way when your listeners are listening to it on your YouTube channel, and again, you're welcome to monetize that. I just don't want you monetizing my lectures, for trading the full things. Don't do that. But here, you're welcome to do that. I don't mind doing it. And I'm teaching this today because I have a lot of questions that have been brought to me about how do you, as a student, how do you overcome these barriers that you have? You may not even realize what they are. How do you discover them? How do you work forward to get through all those things? And then what happens if you can't do it because you are wrestling with some kind of a mental illness? Maybe you're at your wit's end, maybe external stresses, not the market itself, but they're all compounding. And you feel like your world's constricting and you just can't focus. You can't do anything right. You feel like impending doom. That's the latter portion of this Twitter space today. Or should we call it X space? I just refuse to call it X. Sorry, Elon. So, I hope you're all doing well. I've thought about how I wanted to deliver this kind of conversation. I know some of you like to walk around or exercise or do whatever. And when we do the exercises or talk about the exercise in the latter portion, please don't be using any kind of vehicle. Don't be trying to do it while you're driving, because you'll see they have a physiological response to it immediately, which will be very surprising to some of you. But there's a lot of new students this year, and the 2024 mentorship for Caleb is kind of like hitting on all cylinders right out the gate, because I'm taking right in front of all of the live price action. And I'm explaining things, making you aware of what my focus would be at the time, at that moment, watching price action. Now, as a trader, in the beginning, you don't know what you don't know. And when you discover things that you didn't realize were so important, it's sometimes very easy to discount it. Meaning that you might think to yourself, well, I feel a little anxious because I have too much on the trade, or I just took a loss and I'm already back in the market. And you feel that discomfort, like something's just not right. A new trader that's rushed to go into trading with real money will look at that and say, well, I don't want to be a wimp. Okay, I don't want to be a softie and feel like I'm getting scared or shook out of the marketplace, because if we were all in the locker room of the arena that is trading, and I'm in the boys' room and we're all changing, and they look at me and they ask me, hey, how'd you do today? Were you nervous? You look nervous. You don't want to show any kind of signs of weakness. No way, I can't do that. So, as a new trader that rushes to put money in before they learned how to trade, before they discovered everything that's holding them back and they don't realize it yet, they'll have these little triggers, these little moments where their subconscious starts talking to them about, hey, look, are you sure you want to be right where you're at right now? Are you sure you want to be doing what you're doing? And in the beginning, you're so, especially for the men, you're so keyed up on trying to be impressive to other people instead of simply relaxing and trying to do this for yourself. There's nothing selfish about that. There's zero selfishness. You absolutely need to be self-centered and self-focused in the beginning as a developing student. That is not something that is unchristian. It's not something that's egotistical or narcissistic. You need to put yourself inside of a fortress of solitude. And that fortress of solitude is both a physical location where when you're trading, you're not inviting other people's opinion. When you're studying, you're not inviting other people's opinion. Whoever you're using as a resource, and I'm assuming because you're listening to me, you're tapping into me as that resource. Don't let other authors, teachers, influencers come in, because I'm going to be very, very disruptive to that. The number one reason why I do that is the number one, draw a crowd. It's like starting a fire. People can't turn away from a fire. They can't turn away from a train wreck or a car accident. You really don't take pleasure in seeing bad things happen to other people, but you just can't help it. You got to look. And I have used those things to garner a crowd. Well, you don't want to do that with your own trading. You don't want to do that with your own development, because what you're going to do is you're going to invite other people's opinion. Where when I market myself for free, never paid for it, I invite the opinions of others. And I make it polarizing because it makes other people talk. And there's no faster viral marketing campaign than you can have is if you can make something divisive. That's why pro wrestling, the scripted stuff, that's why it was so popular for so long. It's all scripted, and it's manipulation of the audience. But if I can encourage you as a student to try to remove that stuff from your learning and your studying, to other people that might sound cultish. And I can see that, and I use that, I embrace that, because that perspective eliminates the ability for outside influences to mess you up, because you have to discover who you are. I've had students come to me, go through all the things that I put them through, and they say, you know what? This doesn't suit me. I don't think I should be a trader. And that's maturity. It doesn't mean that the stuff that they were learning doesn't work. It just means that they weren't trading at all. They just can't do it. And why put themselves through it? So I want to kind of like invite that opportunity for all of you, because trading is absolutely not for everyone. There's going to be some things that you're going to encounter while you're trading, while you're learning to trade. When you lose money, you don't know what that feels like until it happens. And all the coping skills that I'm going to teach at the end of this Twitter space may not be enough to get you through it and past it. It might just say, you know what, this doesn't feel right for me. And if it happens to be you that feels that way, you know what? Put it aside for a little while, maybe 6 months. And if you feel the urge to come back to it, maybe not with me, but someone else teaching, if they can prove that they have something that works and they have other people that have learned what it is they taught, and they're proving profitability and consistency, there's nothing wrong with going to someone else that teaches you how to do investing or trading or reading price action or whatever you want to call it. But if you come to me, I encourage rather aggressively that you need to cut all other sources of information off. Because in my group, we're known as very, very confident, pompous, egotistical, narcissistic. These are all descriptive terms, because when my students learn what it is that I teach, that part of my persona rubs off on them, because they can do things that they see other people incapable of doing. When everybody else is out there trying to talk other individuals down, our community talks each other up. That's important. That's a characteristic that nobody likes to spend too much focus on, because it counters most of everything that's going to be negative that you're going to encounter as a student of mine. You're going to feel like, wow, man, this is a cult. I don't want anybody thinking bad about me. You're not going to meet these people. You're not going to have dinner with them. You're not going to invite them over to Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas. You're not going to celebrate the New Year, drinking champagne with them at the turn of the New Year. But you're elevating their sense of worth and impact and influence over you through fear. And what are you fearful of? How other people are going to look at you. How other people are going to be able to judge you on the basis of who you learned from, what you believe and don't believe about a market algorithm. They're all talking points, and every side and every angle believes that they are the right side. So how can you imagine the impact of frustrating, conflicting input from other people's opinion in the beginning when you first start learning? It causes paralysis. It causes you to feel like, am I wasting my time? Am I wasting my time? My question is did the people you see on YouTube proving that they're being profitable, that the companies that pay them out, that are interviewing them, you think they just gave that money to them for free? I don't have any affiliates with anybody. None. So it serves me and them no direct gain by making it public knowledge that the people that they paid out in their profitable trades are my students. So we have receipts, and there's new individuals coming forward all the time using the same information that you have at your fingertips for free. I have created an environment. You always see these guys advertising. They'll say, this is a no-risk opportunity. But act now, because if you don't do it, there's no telling how long I'm going to keep this for free or have this discount or something to that effect. That's pressure sales. You should feel relaxed. I'm not getting paid here. This is why I'm doing this here too, because I'm not monetized on X or Twitter. I don't have any monetization on there at all. Zero. To be honest with you, I don't even know how to do it if I wanted to do it. And I don't want to do it. I could put this in a G-rated narrative on my YouTube channel and collect ad revenue off of that. But I don't want, I want to talk to you like a friend. I want to talk to you through the perspective of a father figure, because I'm talking to Caleb. Because I want him to understand that these are going to be huge wrestling matches for him, just like they're going to be for you. And for some of you, you're going to discover that, wow, I went through that and I thought I was losing my mind. I thought I was just being, incapable of learning. No, this is very hard to do, folks, because you're wrestling yourself. You're competing with an image of yourself that you're holding on to. And unfortunately, in the beginning, it's a self-defeating image. You're holding on to a weak, closed-minded, narrow-minded, scared little child. And I don't mean that to be condescending. You're trying to protect the inner child of yourself from losing money, from being embarrassed. Oh, these people said that they learned from ICT, they're cultists, they're brainwashed, they're whatever. The list is going on and on, okay? If you're considering all those things as outside influences, all you have to do is test the stuff I'm teaching for free. All you have to do is sign up to a live stream when I'm doing it and listen to me explain what Price is doing. And then you think to yourself, wow, there's something here. Like, I can see this guy knows what he's talking about, and the market's behaving as he's describing it. Those are the things you're supposed to be focusing on. The evidence, the proof. Don't let my public antics for my own pleasure, because I love twisting the knife in other people that don't want to believe, or they deep down inside they believe, but they can't compete with us. They can't even compete. It's not even close. But I'm not here to ridicule them. I want them to listen to the same lectures that I'm giving to all of you. And if they can take something away from that helps them, then that's great. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not trying to kick anybody in the face. I'm not trying to put my boot on their neck, strangle their ability to be profitable or climb up as a pillar in the industry. That's not what I'm doing. If you don't guard your fortress of solitude, that means your physical location where you study. That means your family members can't be in the room with you. If you have children, God bless them, they can't be in the room with you. Your spouse, whether being supportive or not, and chances are they're probably not going to be supportive. They don't believe yet in your future self. The things that you have to go through to refine your future self, that future success that you want to have, but you don't really necessarily believe it yet, you got to be convinced of it. And so many times, individuals in the last, 5 or 10 years, they have this TikTok mentality. It has to be shown to you in 10 seconds, 30 seconds or less, or I'm interested. And this is the part where if you're not willing to put yourself through what it is I'm describing, or if you look at those videos I have up there, 500 and some videos, and you think, man, I ain't got time for 500 videos. How many football games have you watched since you started watching them? How many basketball games have you watched since you started watching them? Has your attendance in the audience, seeing those games live, has that made any impact on you being able to play football or basketball any better? No. So why are you watching it? Why are you paying all that money to support these people who don't know you, they don't care about you, they simply will never spend time with you, and to get them to stop to get an autograph or a snapshot is asking too much many times. But you're willing to put yourself through all that stuff because it gives you what? A feel-good moment. Wow, this is awesome. Because you idolize these people. You idolize them. You lift them up. They're titans. And men want to be a titan. Don't lie. You're smiling right now because you know damn well that's the truth. You want to be a big shot. You want to be a big wheel. Someone everybody looks up to and says, man, I want to be like him. You have to have that same tenacity and driven passion in why you're trying to learn how to trade and put yourself in a fortress of solitude where you're not inviting other people. Don't let them influence it. And from an intellectual stance, your fortress of solitude is your journal. That's where you go to lick your wounds when you don't do something right. But you don't go there and treat it like it's a house of pain, like it's an abusive relationship. And so many of you have shared some of your journal entries to me while talking about a price action move. And while maybe your technical thing might be there and it may be correct and it just didn't work out for that moment or that time or that instance, the negative annotations, the negative things that are spoken about what you're trying to teach yourself, what do you think is more appropriate for that inner child that's inside you right now that you're nurturing, that will be your future self? What's more nurturing? If you're constantly beating that inner child down with negative, not encouragement, but punishment. You should have did this better. I should have learned this by now. This stuff never works. I don't know why I can't get this. This is so stupid. I need something easier. If you spoke to your child that way, do you think that child would grow up feeling good about themselves? Or would they have complexes and probably deep-rooted anger and anxiety? And you wonder why you're feeling those things. Because you're feeding it to yourself every day. You don't even realize it. You have no idea how often you give yourself something toxic and negative. And that's why when you watch something positive, you're like, wow, I really enjoyed that moment. Or if you see someone you haven't seen in a long time, an old friend or loved one, that's why holidays, except for Carl, gets invited to the festivities. He wasn't supposed to be there, but some joker invited him. It's bad enough you got to work with him all the time, but now he's showing up at New Year's Eve. It was fun until he showed up. Then you're doing everything you can to avoid him. Well, at the holidays, you feel good. Why? Because your attention's taken off of all the negative things about yourself, and then what do? Yeah, well, I got a raise today. Yeah, last week got a promotion at the job. That's right. I don't know how they're going to do it without me. Whenever I decide to leave the company, oh, they're so screwed. You get to talk about all the good stuff, and you hide all that stuff. That's exactly what proper journaling is. You need to do that. You need to cultivate all the positives. And that's why it feels good to be around your cousin who hasn't left Jiffy Lube. He's been doing that for 12 years. Says he's going to college and never even done prerequisites. Never did anything but get greased.